Together. I didn't send for my grandfather, I sent for his beard.
You didn't send for your grandfather, you sent for his beard?
Yeah, it's coming by hair mail. Hi everybody, I'm Maurice Chevalier. And this is Maurice Chevalier.
No, I'm Matt.
I'm Bobby. And welcome to another episode of Dust Steal Movies. Today we're continuing our Marx Brothers retrospective series with Monkey Business. Now last time, we forgot to tell you, Matt actually has a very interesting story to tell about the Marx Brothers. Why don't you go ahead and tell it?
Well, back at one of my old jobs, I worked out in the city of Chicago, and my partner had to stop at his place to get something. And he lived in the apartment building that the Marx Brothers used to live in when they were in Chicago. There was a sign in front of his building that said they lived there.
That was a great story, Matt. Now on with our
Was
review. On with the review of Monkey Business. The Marx Brothers were a comedy team featuring real brothers. There was Groucho, who wore a fake mustache, bushy eyebrows, and always had something funny to say. Then Chico, the dim-witted con artist who spoke with a phony Italian accent. Then Harpo, he didn't talk but did tons of physical comedy. And finally Zeppo, the straight man. By 1931, the Marx Brothers were already Broadway stars and becoming movie stars. In New York, they had already filmed movie adaptations of their two Broadway plays, The Coconuts and Animal Crackers, which were big hits. And now they are under contract to Paramount, and were going Hollywood all the way with their next movie, Monkey Business. It was their first film shot in California, and it was also their first film to be specifically written for the screen. And as you'll hear in the plot summary, they sure did monkey around in this one. The four Marx Brothers play stowaways on a ship, cleverly hidden in barrels. While the ship's crew is chasing them, Groucho and Zeppo accidentally meet up with Alky Briggs, a gangster, who hires Groucho and Zeppo to work for him. Meanwhile, Harpo and Chico get hired by Alky's rival gangster, Big Joe Heldon. Later on shore, Big Joe is having a party, and his daughter gets kidnapped, and it's up to the Marx Brothers to rescue her. Look at my passport. I'm Maurice Chevalier.
You don't look anything like Maurice Chevalier.
Yes, I am, and I can prove it to you. If a nightingale could sing like you, is he much sweeter than you do?
You don't passport.
Now, who are you?
Maurice Chevalier.
Let me see that. That doesn't look like you.
Well, I don't sing, so I don't have to prove myself to you.
The breeze whispers Louise. Now, Matt, what were your first impressions of this movie?
Well, you see, it's very comedic.
Yes, I thought so too. The first thing that I thought of when I saw it, this is a movie. My first impression, coming after doing the review for Animal Crackers, was this is a movie. You see them all sorts of different locations, the different rooms in the ship, the barn later on, the party. And they are able to do such great physical comedy with all the different props they encounter. How do you...
Yes, like the scene where Harpo is imitating one of the puppets, and he's being chased by one of the police on the crew.
Yeah, and they could never have really done a full-on chase scene like that on a stage play. So they really take advantage of the fact that they're in a film. One of the things I really liked about this film is that the Marx Brothers work as a unit. In the last one, most of the scenes, they were either just one of them or just two of them. But here, They're all a lot of, so there's so many scenes when it's all four of them together. Starting with the barrel scene, where the four of them are all singing Sweet Adeline in the barrels. Which brings us to a very interesting point. This film could be one of the few times that you could hear Harpo's voice on film. Because it is believed that he is singing Sweet Adeline with the brothers.
And Harpo never talks.
It's true. So it's and throughout the movie, it always reminds me of that. Even though, I mean, of course, they have scenes where they're separate or just the two of them, but the four of them are together a lot. How did you feel about that?
The four of them being together?
Yes.
I felt it was a great way to incorporate more comedy into each scene.
I thought so too. They really work together.
With each of their unique talents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they're all funny separately, but together I think they make sparks fly. I really do. How do you feel that Zeppo fits into the team?
Well, throughout the movie, it just kind of seemed he was like there. He really didn't have any, like, you know, he didn't really have much to offer, you know, as far as, you know, compared to his brother's talents go.
Yeah, you know, he was, of course, the straight man of the group. But I always am kind of impressed how in this movie, how he, even though he is a normal person, how he does work well with the brothers. He works well off of them. You really feel like Zeppo is a member of the team, especially here, which is something that's missing when other straight men replace him in their later films. Now that we've kind of talked about how we thought the Marx Brothers were in this film, what did you think of the plot?
Well, you know, the plot is basically, they're stowaways on a ship. They start working for one gangster, then they work for another gangster, who are rival gangsters throughout the whole movie. It's just, you know, a plot. That's all. Basic plot.
Yeah, and in this movie, I didn't really think the plot was that important. It was more about just the gags. Yes. Kind of like how Animal Crackers was, but I gotta say, I enjoyed the plot in this, even though there wasn't that much of one. I enjoyed it a lot more in this one.
Yeah.
Having gangsters gave this movie a sense of excitement that Animal Crackers did not have. Because in this story, the characters were in legitimate danger. Also, since this was made during the Al Capone era, having gangsters in it really made it feel like a slice of the 1930s life. The use of gangsters continued into their next film as well. Also making a Marx Brothers debut in this film is Thelma Todd, known in Hollywood as Hot Toddy. And she's kind of a young, very, I'd say 1920s girl. How did you think of her?
She did well with the Marx Brothers in this movie. I feel like her presence was more, you know, made the movie a little more comedic, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
With the jokes that were at her disposal.
Yeah, exactly. She was funny. I like it when she does the ha-cha-cha. She doesn't really have too many jokes herself, but she plays really well with them. Did you see me go in the closet?
No, I saw you come out of the closet.
Yes. She plays really well with them. How do you think of her compared with Margaret Dumont?
Well, compared to Margaret Dumont, you know, she was in the movie a lot more. Mm-hmm. You know, not as much as Margaret Dumont was. You know, like, you know, she actually was in the movie a lot.
Yeah, she was. Whereas Margaret Dumont is sort of humor at Margaret Dumont's expense, and Margaret Dumont represents the authority figure. Thelma Todd, or Hot Toddy, she feels like one of them. It's kind of like how Zeppo feels like just like one of the boys.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm. You know, did you catch that one joke that Groucho said? Where it was something like, I can work on your tires all night. Of course, you'll have to stay in the garage all night. It's very interesting because Thelma Todd actually died by carbon monoxide asphyxiation in her garage. And it's quite a bit of a mystery. Was it suicide? Was it murder? And it's very apropos.
It's a coincidence.
Yes, it's a very interesting coincidence, especially with Groucho's comment in the film. Despite this tragedy, this movie is still more fun than A Barrel of Monkeys. So, Matt, what would you give this movie?
3.5 out of 5.
Me too. I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5. I really like this movie, and I'm excited for Marx Brothers, too. Okay. Did you see me go in the closet?
No.
Am I in the closet now?
No.
And how do you know I was in the closet?
Greenbaum.
That I'm going back to the closet, where men are empty overcoats. Greenbaum! Thank you for watching Dusty Old Movies, and have a hairy day.
Next up, Terminator.
And guess what? We'll be back. Yeah, I agree. And of course, she always wants to ha-cha-cha. How did you think she compared to Margaret Dumont? Look, a bird.
I know. I'm talking about, okay? Would you give me a chance to speak? Compared to Margaret Dupont.
Dumont.
Redo it.